If any of you ever heard of the Ohlone Network News here at Ohlone College, well, down over at the TV station over at the Smith Center, they have two classes that they teach over there called Directing Live Television and Beginning Television Newscast. These two classes, what they do every week to get together is that they always do like a newscast every Wednesday. Of course, it's on 8:30 if you've probably ever seen it. It goes on every Wednesday, and then they air it live every Wednesday, and it's on the weekends, and also it's on demand. So, and they do it during the semesters, every semester. And of course, they got a lot of procedures that they have to go through in order to get to do it. Like first of all, they have to the news class. What they do on their side is they talk about events that are going on around here, like locally or that stuff, and then they have to go over an assignment list of decide who's doing what, like who's doing a news package, writing a story, or doing like a voiceover where it's video where the anchor is talking. You've probably seen that in the news before. And also, while they're doing that, the directing students, what they do is they rotate through all the technical positions, like in the control room in the studio, so they can learn how to use them and decide who's going to do what on the show day. Here are some pictures of what the students do. Like they have to submit news stories for those that aren't doing like a package or a voiceover. They have to submit news stories, anything that's online from a newspaper, copy story, wire copy, whatever. And also they can some of them put together like video for their news packages, which is like a report that a reporter does, or a voiceover. The picture on the top is a student putting in a news story, and the bottom picture is one where you see a student editing with Avid, which is video editing software. And we have our producer, of course, who is basically in charge of the whole entire news crew. That's the production side, and the technical side is the directing side. And the producer, what she does is she has to submit. She goes through the stories that were submitted, and she has to go over them and make changes to them. She's also in charge of deciding what stories go on the show. And we have our directors, of course. Like we have a director who does the camera shot assignments and also assigns the server channels, because we use a server for our videos. And she also calls out the orders, like standby camera 1, take 1 with the box, standby camera 3, and that stuff. She's also in charge of the whole technical side. And the technical director, who's in charge of the crew, what he does is he has to make sure that all the cameras are all set up, and he has to white balance cameras and make sure everything's all working. He also flips the switches. You know how you see the pictures on the newscast switch, like it goes from one anchor to the other or to a video? Well, he flips the switches to do all that stuff and fade to black and so on. And we have an assistant director who sits right by the director, and they have like a stopwatch, and they keep track of the time, like when we're going on the air, or how much time we have left during our commercial break, or how much time is left for a video that's playing, like for a voiceover or a package. They have to keep track of the time. They got a little cut sheet by the side, so they can see all the checkpoints of the time, so they know when they're running out. And then we have our tape server operator. Back in the day, we used to have old beta tape decks where they would have to put a tape in and play it, but we got rid of all that now. We have a server. The server operator does is they have to create playlists. That's how we play our videos. They have to make playlists on 2 channels and decide which order that they're going to play in. And they also play the video whenever the director says, like, roll 13, take it. When they say roll, they just hit play on there and it starts playing. And we have our audio person, who obviously is in charge of the audio. Like, he sets up the mics in the studio, makes sure that they work, and he controls the volume levels of, like, the anchor. Like, when one anchor is talking, he has to turn down the other one so the other one doesn't get interference. And controls the audio level for when there's video playing, like a news package. And we have our talent, of course, in the shop in our studio. This was on rehearsal night. Every Monday they practice before the show day. And the anchors, they have to sit on the desk and they read the teleprompter, which is on top of the camera, which is probably the easiest part, but the only problem is if it goes out, they have scripts in front of them in case the prompter goes out. And that happens occasionally, because we have a little system. And as for the newscast, as I said before, the newscast airs at 8:30 on Ohlone Channel 28, which you can get here in Fremont, Newark, and some parts of Union City, and they also repeat the newscasts, and they have it online on demand, so you can watch it anytime online. And they have a rundown during the newscast that the director, the producers, they put together, and they have to go by that rundown, so they don't have everything all mixed up. And after the show, when the show is over, everybody meets in the control room, both classes, and they discuss all the ups and downs of the show and what can be done to improve and all. And they critique it on Monday. And to wrap it up, if you're interested in taking the news class or the directing class, it's available every spring and fall semesters. It is not available in the summertime. And when you watch the newscast, I mentioned you can watch it on Ohlone TV, which is Channel 28, or online. And the newscasts, however, they do not air during the summertime nor during the winter breaks. That's it.
Questions?
What do you do over there?
Well, I've taken both classes there before, and what I do right now is I'm like the office assistant, because our operations manager, he's not there every Wednesday now during the semester because he just had a second child, so I'm kind of watching over. I'm learning how to take care of all technical problems, like if the students are struggling. What?
It's on cable?
Yeah, it's on cable on Channel 28. It's here in Fremont, Newark, or Union City. It's on cable.
Is it something you think you're going to stay with?
It's like my broadcasting is like my secondary major, but my main thing was I want to get in the film industry, and this will give me some technical experience. I've taken both classes.
Which do you like the best?
Probably what do you mean?
Which class do you like the best?
I like the directing one better because I'm more of a technical person more than a writer.
Okay. And those pictures were from the.
Yeah.
You just took them recently.
Yeah, like last week I over at the TV station.
Okay, give some feedback. Question.
Well, I thought you did a really good job. You looked a lot more comfortable in the last speech, and you knew what you were talking about, and it was really informative. You did a really good job.
You're still doing it now? Stand your feet. And try not to shift around. That's it. I like the conclusion. I thought the conclusion was pretty cool. What's kind of trailed off and the whole conclusion. Let's be honest.
Who else is in your group? Anybody else?
You did a good job. Like Tiffany said, I could definitely see an improvement from your last speech. Your last speech was good too, but you looked so much more confident after this time. So good job.
Well, I thought you had a great improvement too from your last speech. I thought your speech was very organized, very easy to follow. I would say if you could do anything different, I would like to see less wording on your slides because I found myself reading more than listening to you. So I'd say just remember the 6 to 7 words per line and no more than 6 or 7 lines per page, and just kind of keep that in mind for just real bullet point kind of thing. But I thought that was good. Other than the kind of nervous dancing and beware of leaning on the lectern there. That if you can try to stand away from it, that would be good. But I thought you had some really good points. You started wrapping it up and doing a conclusion, and then you said that your last words were, "That's pretty much it." And shucks, you had such a really good review there. So really work on having a strong, concluding statement. That's the only thing I'd say to work on for next time. I think you did really a big